The man rolled down the car window, stuck his hand out to test the thickness of the soil, but a large amount of mud poured in through the window, frightening him into quickly closing it. In just 1 minute, mud had covered his whole body. Before he could catch his breath, the sunroof suddenly shattered. The man quickly took out tape, trying to use it to seal the glass, but against tons of pressure, this thin tape was completely useless. In the critical moment, the man noticed the steering wheel lock under the seat. He hurried to pull the lock open, and fixed it on both sides of the sunroof. This temporarily blocked the mud that kept sinking. The man let out a long sigh of relief. He picked up a bottle of water casually, and didn't stop until he'd almost finished it, but thinking he didn't know when he'd be rescued, he might as well drink all the water. Then he took out his phone, preparing to make a distress call. No matter how he changed his position, there was not a single bar of signal in the car. The unwilling man turned on the car radio, but after tuning it for a long time, only static came from it. Now he was finally in despair. He slumped helplessly in the chair. At this moment, he spotted the gift he'd prepared for his wife. Unwilling to accept such an ending, he carefully went to the back seat, gathering all usable tools, hoping they would help him escape. However, none of them seemed useful. As he worried about this, water began seeping through the crack in the sunroof. The man quickly leaned over, sucking wildly with his mouth, but this efficiency was really too low, so he took out a bank card, folding it into the shape of a funnel, and inserting it into a plastic bottle, making a simple device. Soon, he collected a full bottle of water. The drinking water problem was solved. Next was how to get fresh air, so he removed an iron pipe, poking upward through the sunroof. If it successfully reached the ground, maybe he could still be rescued. However, the mud flowing out of the pipe shattered his illusion. He quickly found a newspaper to block it, then drilled a hole in the bottle cap, tying a knot with hemp rope and threading it through the cap. The problem of mud backflow was solved. The man inserted the iron pipe into the hole again, starting to push upward hard, watching as both iron pipes were used up, but still not reaching the ground. It showed how deeply the man was buried. As the friction grew greater, the third iron pipe just wouldn't push up. In desperation, he took out the jack. Soon the jack also reached its limit. He had to put a towel on his shoulder, gritting his teeth against the pain and pushing upward. The iron pipe finally broke through the soil. He quickly poked upward with the wire, and this time it finally worked. The man quickly leaned over to look. There was finally light in the iron pipe.
Never seen such a ruthless man. He hammered nails into his legs, even put his hand in the toaster. But even so, it still couldn't stop his heart from stopping. Just because he was injected with a poison, he must stay excited at all times. Otherwise, he would die. The man drove to the club, bought a pack of gum from the mafia. The effect took hold quickly. His heart began to beat violently. The man felt refreshed. He wanted to pick a fight.
Here he goes again.
Loud fighting sounds echoed in the room. Soon the man was thrown out. After all, there were many of them. Seeing he was no match for them, he quickly drove away. On the way, he received a call. It was the person who poisoned him. The bald man threatened that if he didn't get the antidote within an hour, the man would drop dead on the spot. To survive, the man called his family doctor for help, but the doctor was abroad at that time. He told the man to keep staying excited. He had already booked a flight back. After hearing that, the man immediately started speeding, trying to get himself excited. Unexpectedly, his behavior was soon noticed by the police. He had no choice but to drive to the mall. The car crashed around inside. The police were still chasing closely behind, but due to excessive speed, he braked and flipped onto the escalator. Fortunately, the man was not injured. The doctor reminded him to keep moving. The man had to run all the way. Soon he escaped to the back door. Just then, a taxi arrived. He got in without a word. As soon as he stopped, his heart started to hurt. He asked the driver to play some intense music. He kept moving to the rhythm, but he needed more excitement. So the man got off immediately, rushed into a convenience store, threw the cashier aside, and took a lot of popping candy and energy drinks, experiencing the joy of being a robber. Back in the car, he started eating and drinking. After that, he found the local gang leader, hoping the other party could help him. But the gang leader was in cahoots with the bald man, not only refused to help him detoxify, but also mocked him for being a dying man. The man was so angry that he wanted to fight him. However, there were armed bodyguards around. He had to leave in frustration. Then the man went to the hospital to buy medicine. The doctor saw his fierce look, not only refused to give him adrenaline, even wanted to call the police. At this time, a passerby reminded him the medicine on the table also contained adrenaline, so he took several boxes quickly. The man couldn't wait to try it. It really worked for his heart. On the way, he saw a doctor rescuing a patient. He immediately held a gun to threaten the doctor. The timid doctor had to give him the medicine. Suddenly, the man's heart ached sharply. He ordered the doctor to shock him. The doctor was very confused, but had to obey. He just touched him lightly. The man flew several meters away.